While most of the places people call home tend to be boxy and divided into sections for the usual activities like sleeping, eating, and using the bathroom, some folks live in these box-shaped spaces in pretty unexpected locations around the globe. From the coldest place on Earth to a tiny sea platform belonging to a micronation, here are the most bizarre spots where people actually reside. Number 10. Hanging Temple of Hangsha. The Hanging Temple, located near Datong in Shaanxi Province, China, is one of the region's top tourist spots, and it's easy to see why. This 1,500-year-old temple is built 246 feet above the ground, which certainly adds a bit of thrill to the idea of worshipping there. Although it used to serve as a religious site, today it's mainly a tourist attraction thanks to its unique position clinging to the side of a cliff. The temple is the only one in China to combine three major Chinese philosophies: Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Despite the seemingly precarious position, it's firmly anchored to the cliffside with massive oak beams that are secured into rock holes. Still, it's probably not the best place to jump around. It's lasted for a millennium and a half, so it's safe, just don't get too daring. If you like this video, subscribe and like for more content. Number 9. The coldest city in the world. Yakutsk, located in Siberia, Russia, holds the title of the coldest city on Earth. Temperatures often plummet below -44 degrees Fahrenheit, and they've even recorded a mind-blowing -83.9 degrees Fahrenheit back in February 1987. How do people live there? Well, they make do with more than just warm coats. In the winter, simple tasks like wearing glasses become impossible. They freeze to your face. Cars need to run 24/7 in the winter because if they stop, they won't start up again until the weather warms up. And forget about buying milk. It's sold as a frozen block. To add to the strangeness, winter days only last about 4 hours, while summer offers up 21 hours of daylight. It's a tough place to live, but somehow people manage. Number 8. Hallstatt, China, in Guangdong Province, there's a place that seems to be a perfect copy of Hallstatt, a charming village in Austria. This isn't some artistic homage. It's an exact replica. How did this Austrian village end up recreated in China? Well, it turns out that China has a penchant for replicating famous landmarks, from the Eiffel Tower to the Venetian canals, and even small Austrian villages. Hallstatt in Austria has been around for centuries, but the Chinese version has only existed since 2012. Despite its short life, it somehow feels steeped in history. Even if it is a bit disorienting to walk through a tiny Austrian town in the middle of China, people live here too, as the properties are sold to wealthy Chinese buyers who can't get property in the original Hallstatt. What do you think of these strange living situations? Any famous places you'd love to see recreated in your town? Let's chat about it in the comments. Number 7. The tunnels of Bucharest. In the heart of Bucharest, Romania, hundreds of people, including around 1,100 children, live in the city's sewer system. This underground world became home to many after the fall of the Soviet Union, when orphanages were suddenly shut down, leaving a generation of children with nowhere to go. With no other options, they fled into the tunnels beneath the city. Over the years, more people have joined them, often driven by desperation and addiction. Life in the sewers is harsh, with little assistance available to those who are stuck in these conditions. One charity offers basic medical care, but the government does very little to support these forgotten people living in such dire circumstances. Number 6. Elliey Island. Elliey Island in Iceland is home to one of the most bizarre-looking houses you'll find. Perched on this small, green island, it seems like it could be straight out of a fairy tale. Over the years, rumors have circulated about the house being the hideaway of a rich, eccentric religious hermit, or even the mysterious Bjork. The truth, however, is much less dramatic. Built in 1953, the house was a lodge for puffin hunters who used to flock to the island to hunt these birds. It's still in use today, but only members of a hunting association are allowed access, so it's not some mysterious secret retreat for the rich and famous. Number 5. Dina River House. The Dina River House in Serbia is a truly unique sight, a small house perched on a tiny island in the middle of the river. The story behind it is just as unusual as the house itself. In the summer of 1968, a group of friends swimming in the river decided to take a break on a rocky island. Since the rocks were uncomfortable, they brought some wooden planks to sit on. The next summer, one of the friends returned to build a proper shelter. With the help of others, they transported materials by kayak and slowly constructed a small house. The river, however, was unpredictable, and over the years, the house was washed away 6 times. Each time it was rebuilt, stronger than before, until it became a famous landmark, attracting photographers and visitors from all over the world. Number 4. Mount Fanjing. To reach Mount Fanjing, visitors must scale over 8,000 steps, a serious challenge for anyone eager to see its temples. This isn't just any mountain, though. It's home to the Red Cloud's Golden Peak, a towering natural rock spire in China's Wuling Mountain Range. Atop this spire sit 2 Buddhist temples with a rich history spanning more than 500 years. How the original builders transported materials to construct the temples on such a steep, remote peak remains a mystery. Imagine carrying a backpack and your own weight all the way up. It's almost unthinkable. The temples have been rebuilt in recent years with stronger materials to withstand the harsh winds and high altitudes. Today, it's a popular spot for drone enthusiasts, so we can enjoy the breathtaking views of this incredible place without the exhausting climb. Number 3. The Meteora Monasteries. Throughout history, many monasteries have been built in hard-to-reach elevated spots, and the Meteora monasteries in Greece are no exception. These incredible structures are perched on massive rock formations, offering stunning views of the surrounding sea and landscape. The name Meteora comes from the Greek word meaning suspended in air, which perfectly describes the monastery's lofty positions. There are 6 active monasteries today, housing a small group of monks and nuns. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988, the Meteora monasteries are a must-see on many tourists' Greek itineraries. With the rise of drone photography, these monasteries have become even more popular as their dramatic locations make them ideal subjects for sweeping aerial shots. Number 2. Ponte Vecchio. The Ponte Vecchio in Florence, Italy, is one of the city's top tourist attractions. While the name Ponte Vecchio literally means old bridge in Italian, that simple description doesn't quite capture the full essence of this historic structure. The bridge has been standing since 1345, though the original one was washed away in a flood and rebuilt. For centuries, it was the only bridge crossing the Arno River in Florence. What makes the Ponte Vecchio unique is the small shops that line it, a feature that has been present since the 13th century. Initially, the bridge was home to all sorts of shops, like butchers, fishmongers, and tanners. But in 1593, a decree was passed to only allow goldsmiths and jewelers to operate there. The bridge also holds a special historical significance for the Medici family, who used it as a secret passageway to travel between their palaces while avoiding the commoners below. It was a way for the elite to stay clear of the unwashed masses, as they probably preferred not to mingle with the regular folk. Number 1. Sealand. Sealand is a tiny offshore platform in the North Sea, about 7.5 miles off the coast of Suffolk, England. In 1967, an eccentric named Paddy Roy Bates declared it to be the Principality of Sealand, establishing the world's smallest nation. Although it's never been officially recognized as a sovereign state, Bates and his family have occupied it ever since. The platform itself was originally built by the British during World War II and later taken over by pirate radio broadcasters before Bates seized it in 1967. Sealand made headlines in 1978 when mercenaries tried to invade, but Bates managed to defend his claim. Despite its bold history, Sealand isn't recognized as an independent country and remains within British territorial waters. It's a fascinating place, though, if you're into the idea of having your own nation on a secluded platform. Practical for daily life? Not so much. It's a bit tricky to shop or even sell the place, given its lack of basic amenities and curb appeal. If you like this video, subscribe and like for more content.